Even if you're done here, you're not done here. So, what can you do with the leftover material from your project? Hi, my name is Luisa Hurtado. You may know me better as designer Luisa on TikTok. Let's create a makeup bag with your scraps. The final measurements for this bag, it's going to be 8 inches wide by 11 inches tall. For this makeup bag, I'll be needing 2 rectangles for this measurement. And for the different squares, I prepared a few squares and rectangles of different measurements to use as a template for my scrap fabric. Just to give you an idea of what you're doing at the end, you will be using these little templates to play with it and just place it in different areas of your final measurements just to give it your own design, and you can play with the sizes and the colors and shades of your denim. Here I have a few pieces that I already cut with my different shades of denim. So now what I'm gonna do is bring them together and pin them so I know where everything goes. And this is what we're trying to obtain at the end. You can use the seam allowance that you prefer. I like to use either a centimeter or ½ inch. And then at the end, we are going to press everything so it looks nice and clean, just like this one. And then we are making several of them to obtain the final measurement of 8 by 11. So here I have the lining for our makeup bag. I have 2 rectangles of 8 by 11 and I use 100% cotton fabric. And I also have the waistband that we removed from our jeans. We will need to cut 6 inches from where the button is located and 3 inches on the buttonhole. Now you have this remaining fabric from your waistband. Do not discard it. You can always use it for other projects like everything else. And these are the 2 pieces that we will need for our makeup bag. So here I have 2 of the long pieces that I pressed, and then now we are going to bring them together, and you can use sewing pins or clips to put them together. Now we are going to sew straight right here, about 1 centimeter or ½ inch. Remember to go back and forth a few times whenever you start and you finish. When you get to this part, make sure your seams are flat and then keep sewing. Remember to double check the top as well as the bottom, because you also have a seam right here. Now that you have something like this, go ahead and press it really good from the front and the back. Place your pattern in the center and then cut the excess. I will be removing this extra fabric here and the extra fabric here. And now you should have something like this, and remember we need another one just like this one. So here I have the 2 pieces. Now you get to decide which one is the front and which one is the back. So for me, the front one is going to be this one. So I'll be using the button side to place it right here, and then using a clip or a sewing pin, secure it in place. And this is the back of the bag. So use the buttonhole facing right sides together at the very top and secure it with a clip or a sewing pin. The back of the makeup bag only needs the reinforcement at the top. However, the front of the bag needs the reinforcement at the bottom, and preferably all the way around. Okay, now these pieces are ready to be sewn together, so we are going to put them right sides together, and we are sewing through the sides, the bottom, and the other side. When you get to the bottom at about ½ inch from the base, stop there and bring the needle down. Lift the foot, turn it to the side, bring the foot down, and keep sewing. Now that you're done with the sides and the bottom, cut the corners. Now we're ready to turn it inside out. So do that carefully, bringing the bottom out If you feel like the corners are not as sharp as you want, then go ahead and remove even more fabric from the corners. Now this piece is ready. You can just give it an overall press and get it ready for the lining. So here I have the lining pieces ready to go. They're both 8 by 11. I also have my sewing machine ready with the matching thread for the lining. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew them right sides together. And I'll be sewing through the sides and the bottom. I will be leaving an opening here of about 6 inches. And this is actually going to serve so that we can turn our entire makeup bag inside out. And a reminder that we are using 1/2 inch of seam allowance for all of our pieces, and whatever seam allowance you use for the other pieces of denim for our makeup bag, use the exact same seam allowance for this. So here is the mark where the opening is going to be, so I'll be reinforcing here. Lift the foot, cut your thread. Remember to leave this open and then start from the bottom. Again, when you get to this part and you're about 1/2 inch from the bottom, bring your needle down, lift the foot, turn it sideways, and continue sewing. Remove all the thread, and we're also going to remove the extra fabric in the corners. Remember, the more fabric you remove, the better. So I'll be removing the extra. So here's the lining ready to go. Now bring your denim pieces so we can finish this bag. Now these 2 pieces are ready to be sewn together. Prepare your sewing machine with the matching color of the thread. We are going to insert this inside this. So grab your denim piece and put it inside the lining. Line these up together and make sure your seams on the sides are touching each other. So in my case, this is the back piece of the bag. So the seam of the denim pieces should be pulled this way and the lining to the opposite way. Now we are going to secure it with clips and do the same on the other side. And use a seam allowance of 1/2 inch to sew them all together. Now our pieces have been sewn together from the top. So now I'm gonna use the opening that we left on the inside of the lining, and I'll be pulling the denim piece. And now you have this opening here. You can press it and then sew it by hand, or you can press it and sew it with your sewing machine. I'll be doing it with my sewing machine. Now that we're ready to do an overstitch all the way around, I like to remove this part of my sewing machine just to make it a little bit easier. That way you can insert it here and then just sew all the way around. It's pretty easy. Now all you do is put your items inside and secure it again using the button. If you like the content of this video and you want to learn more on how to reuse scrap fabric, you can find my new course on Domestika.